Just start off with clearing up. There was a question from Christine last week about in the meditation. I was using the word spaciousness and using the word awareness. We often use those words together, and she was saying how there was that she had a little bit of confusion around that, and um, I just told Christine, I just said, keep working with it. But what I thought about later is when we use the word spaciousness, it's an attribute, it's a quality of awareness. So the awareness is that knowing aspect, is the aspect of the knower. And we give it attributes. And one of the attributes that we give it is emptiness. And that emptiness is a quality of the awareness in that something appears and then it disappears. There is no thing that you can point to. It's the experience of awareness or the experience of knowing. But there's not a thing. So we say it's empty. There's nothing, there's no, in a way, there's no real quality to it. There's just the knowing aspect. But we do give qualities to it. I know I'm contradicting myself here, but we do give qualities to it. And another quality that we use is spaciousness. And it's the idea of space, that there's no limitation to it. There's no center to it, just like with space. There's no end to it and there's no beginning to it. So when we use the word spaciousness to describe awareness, it's a quality. Awareness is like space. It's like space in that it's vast and wide open and is not holding anything continuously. It just comes and it goes. So that's a better answer to your question, Christina.
Jack?
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you very much. That cleared it up.
yeah.
That was a good answer.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so, as the year winds down, we've had a year together of doing retreats and Monday evening classes, and I'm hoping that you feel that you've grown in this year or that you've made progress in your practice. One of the things is, I talk about presence. I talk about this aspect of presence. And I try to point it out or I try to describe it. And in the meditations that we do, we are going into the body and we are experiencing this quality of calm, this quality of quiet, this quality of bliss, if you will. And all of that, all of those qualities are, once again, an attribute to the sense of presence that's here. So presence is another attribute to this sense of awareness. There's a There's a quality of alertness. There's a quality of luminosity. There's a quality of brightness that's here. And we've been using the breath in the body in various meditations to connect with the experience of that. But ultimately, we need to be able to connect with this presence in all situations. We need to be able to have presence as a constant companion. As a place of refuge, if you will, that we can go back to. So I hope that's clear, and I hope as time unfolds and your practice unfolds, you have a developing sense of this presence. And really, we're pointing to it every week. The condition factors of the mind wants to take us away from this presence, but it actually can't once we know how to connect, how to stay connected with this presence. It's always here. So when I'm speaking of this, do people understand what I'm saying? Do you have a sense of it? I think you do, right? It's always here. But as our practice develops, as our beings unfold, we come to a point where we can rely on it more and more. So even when we're going through the difficult times, even when we're going through confusion, even though we go through times of great uncertainty and fear, we can come back and find this presence. We can come back and connect with this presence. It's this sense of beingness, if you will, that's not locked into a sense of self. It's not locked into what we think of as, what we normally think of as self. We realize it's beyond that. So the presence becomes our companion. It becomes our refuge. And if we know that we can get back to it, if we know we can connect with it, then it makes life a lot more easeful. Because that presence is not separate from clarity, it's not separate from quietness, and it's not separate from love. So this should be our goal, is to continually recalibrate ourselves, though to being with this reality, if you will. When we're tangled up, it's hard for us to see it or to be it. But in a moment we're not tangled up, and there it is. When we're tangled up, we forget it's there. But in a moment, it's back. And this is the confidence that we develop. This is the confidence that we develop. And it's simply a matter of resting in it. Maybe you could call it grace. Maybe you could call it God. But it's this mystery that's constantly expressing itself. That's constantly just opening all the time. So we develop strategies, don't we, to be able to work with ourselves and to be able to work with the healing that we need to do on ourselves. We develop strategies on ways of trying to make our life work and trying to bring our practice and trying to bring our values into our life. We develop strategies to how we can best move through the world. And all of this is facilitated by being able to be present with ourselves in whatever situation we find ourselves in. We develop capacity to be able to work with ourselves in all different types of situations. We develop the capacity, the ability, the insight to know where it is and what it is that we need to heal within ourselves. We develop the capacity to really be able to listen to others and really be able to hear what it is they're saying. We develop the capacity to be able to be with the constant confusion that life brings up. The constant reminders of impermanence and suffering that we see. We develop the capacity to be with all of these things. We don't develop the capacity to stop them, right? Life goes on, but we develop the capacity to be able to be with. And this development, this capacity, comes down to presence, is to be able just to be present. But this presence, it's a dynamic thing. It's not a lethargic dead state of mind. But it's really being with. But with that being with what's taking place, there is a quality that we are not that. But we can be with it. There is an innate wisdom. There is an innate joy and love that's within us, if you will. And the capacity to be present, the capacity to connect with presence is all that we need to allow these attributes to shine forth. But we need the strategies. We need the strategies that we develop. Say one strategy is working with the breath, calming the mind down. The strategies of keeping yourself in or moving towards situations that you know are supportive. Being with friends and environments where you know you can be genuine. It's okay to be who you are. Anything from diet to activities, making choices that are moving us towards this wholesomeness, moving us towards the ability to rest in this presence, to the ability to rest in this awareness. There is in this presence an innate sense of okayness. You are. It is okay. There is work to be done. There is confusion to unravel. There is training. There is experiences that we have to move through. But can we start to rely on ourselves? Can we start to rely on just this basic okayness? That is what presence is. And when we have that, we can be ourselves. We don't care what people say about us or think about us. We have this underlying wealth, this underlying power that nothing or no one can change. So if you wonder what we've been doing this a lot for the last year, this is what we've been moving towards. This is what we've been uncovering. And it's easiest to see in the silence. It's easiest to see in the stillness. It's easiest to see in the quiet. That's why we practice. That's why we set aside time for retreat work. So we dive deeply into it. The meditations we do, working with the breath and working with the energy body, once again, are strategies to develop, support qualities within ourselves where we can rest in a comfortable way with His presence. If we're agitated all the time, if we don't give ourselves those breaks to be able to spend time with the quiet, to be able to spend time with the silence, it's really hard to be able to develop or expand this practice. But we discover it, we reconnect with it every day to the best of our ability. And then we bring it out to the world. Open, loving, kind, present. That's not so hard, is it? It's right here. So this is what we remind ourselves of. And no one can take this away from